Welcome everyone to our class here. Now we're up to studying the Gaon. Now we said that the major shift in learning, at least as far as we're concerned, is when we shifted from the understanding of the Rush, who was explaining the Rif, and also Rabbeinu Tam, and we moved into the Rambam. The Rambam is the very key element, which sort of, as happens many times, is a think differently, a new way of thinking. Okay, he's handling the text differently. Now, in the piece that we have, basically, I'm just getting my mind organized here. Basically, what we have is we have 2 Pesukim and 3 Dinim. We have one pasuk that says Meitav, the other pasuk that says Kesev and Shaveh Kesev. And up to the Rush, we had a very simple explanation. Everybody held that Rav Papa said that you free alternative is the mazik to pay with whichever you want, as long as it's Meitav, i.e. Kesev, Shaveh Kesev, V'filu Subin, and Meitav. You had, the mazik has the brera. And the Tosfos agreed with that. That was Rav Papa's position, but he held lahalacha like Rav Huna. Rav Huna had a position, according to Rashi and according to the Rabbeinu Tam, that no, you have 2 alternatives, Kesev or Meitav, Karka, and if you don't have Kesev or Meitav Karka, then you can pay with Metaltal and even Subin. And the Rabbeinu Tam held in his book Sefer Yashar with the Rav Huna. So that was basically the worldview that we had. We had the Rambam, who said something. Well, there's 2 problems in the Rambam. What does he say? And if and depending on what he says, then we'll have to find out the source. So there was the conventional way of reading the Rambam, which was saying the Rambam is not telling us anything new, even though it looks as if he's saying that you first, as the mazik, have to pay with metaltalin. He doesn't. That's if you have to understand the Rambam in context. And he really was just saying that the mazik can pay with metaltalin. And even though the Nizak says, wait a minute, we have the halacha like Rav Huna, who says that metaltalin, I don't have to accept metaltalin, you have to pay with kesev or meitav. We don't listen to that because the halacha, according to the Rambam, according to the shittas, is that that we follow Rav Papa, simple, and you have the brera, and the whole world, as I said, stayed the same. I call it the pre-Copernican revolution. There was no revolution. That's what the Rambam meant. That's what he said, and that Rambam we're going to explain the tour that way, and people are going to explain the Shulchan Aruch that way. So it's all going to be the halachas like Rav Papa, and the mazik has his choice, and that's even the Rambam. Now, there's a whole other school that said no, and it started really with the Ran. The Ran, who's a late Rishon, brings the Rambam, and he says the Rambam holds that metaltalin is a choice before meitav. So it's kesev and meitav, or kesev and metaltalin, and only if you don't have kesev and metaltalin, then do you give meitav karka. So that was what the Ran said, and the Shach used that Ran as his beginning point, because the Shach said, look, we have to read the Rambam simply. He says the Beis Din is goven mi metaltalin techila, which means that the first thing is that the Beis Din tells the mazik, if you have metaltalin, you have to give it. Okay, that's where we're holding. Now we have a very interesting Vilna Gaon, and I want to go over it again to understand. As I said, the Vilna Gaon is called Vilna Gaon for 2 reasons. One, because he comes from Vilna, and 2, because he's a Gaon. So let's try to understand what he does in this learning situation that we find ourselves. What's his unique addition to the learning situation? Okay, and he really is unique. So let's read. I'm going to put you on again. We're going to go from the beginning because it's very important for us to see the move of the Gaon, what he actually did. Okay, so let's start from this beginning. The Gaon here, I believe that's the beginning. Let me just see. I'm just going to pop up. You can see my screen, of course, right?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so we have the Rambam here. We'll just quickly review the Rambam. The Rambam says, "Kasher based in diskaken ligvos hanezik," meaning it's going to say hamazik, when the bastin is empowered to collect damages for the mazik. The din is govin mina metalton techila. They collect from metalton first. Vim lo hayu lo metalton klal. If the mazik doesn't have any metalton, o shalo hayu metalton keneged kol hanezik, govin hasham min akarka min yafish min echnasei hamazik. Then and only then do the base din go down and collect from the best land of the mazik. And he adds, for calls man shemotza metaltlin afil subin ein niskaken lakarka. And we said this metaltlin that he collects from first, it can even be subin. Okay, and we never go down to karka unless we exhaust our subin. So if the mazik doesn't have any subin, then and only then do we go to the karka. Okay, so we discussed in that introduction exactly the two ways of reading the Rambam, whether it's the conservative way or whether the revolutionary way, but that's what's on the floor here. The Rambam can be read two ways and understood two ways, one within context, one without context, but that's what's going on. The Tur, we said, writes similar language, but not exactly. And it's always, as we learned in Darkei Gemara, his first statement, very powerful. He says, the beginning of iyun is ledaktik b'lashon heitev. I say we're observant Jews. I make the pun on the word observant. Proper observation is the beginning of good learning. You have to see what exactly was written. The words here are like equals MC squared. So any little nuance in language is going to have meaning to those people that understand the subtleties. But the Torah does not say kasher based in niskaken. He says kasher bayin lahagbos lenizak nesko. When we come to collect for the nizak, the damages. Rowan and Yesh, the mazik metaltlin. We see if the mazik has metaltlin. Then the din is ein yordan limchlor kakasab. We don't go down to the property of the mazik and sell his property. What do we do? Elayiten lo metaltlin. He can give metaltlin. The mazik can give metaltlin. He. It doesn't say in the plural. It says he can give metaltlin. The Gemara is going to be medayik on that. Befil sheyesh lo kesev. Even if this mazik has kesev, yochel shalmo basubin. The mazik is able not to pay with money. He can pay with his subin. Why? To call mile metaltlin meitavu. Because all types of movables are called meitav, and therefore meitav is equal to kesev, and if he wants to, he can give it. Okay, and we don't collect from land. And the last little din, those all the dinim. How do we evaluate this metaltlin? What the price is in the present place and time. Now, ve'im ein lo metaltlin. What happens if our mazik doesn't have metaltlin? Then yordan l'karkas idishmicha. So go down to his best land. Okay, so let's read the Gemara now. Put you on, and we did it last time, but we have to read it carefully again. And the good Darkei Gemara told us there's no comparison between 100 and 101 times. So let's hear what the Gemara says. Go ahead. Now you're on.
The only thing is I can't see the Gemara. Where is the Gemara?
You can't see the Gemara here? It's too small?
I see the Rambam Torah. No.
Oh, it didn't flip yet.
It didn't refresh. Yeah, the screen has to refresh.
Okay. Do you see it underlined yet? Okay, let me get rid of this thing.
No.
Oh boy, what happened?
It's just going to take a moment for it to.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get rid of any extra things that I have here, which are sort of blocking the screen.
Oh, now I see it.
You see? Yeah, I'm trying some other stuff here that may be taking up some. Okay. All right, let's go there. What do you see?
Yeah, I see on the bottom right of the screen you have some things open?
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of them, and there we go. There we go. Now, okay. But you can read the screen, yeah? I can make it larger if you like.
No, I could read it. Just the text wasn't yet visible.
Okay, very good. Yeah, there's a lag because of, I guess, the internet's better in Israel. I'm in another room here. I don't want to wake up the people who I'm staying with, so
you're on a wireless.
I'm on a wireless in a bedroom, so I don't want to go out to the main room because I don't want to wake them up. But it's okay. I mean, you can see it because I don't think we'll be flipping around.
Yep.
Okay, so let's start with the Gra. The Gra is on the Rambam.
Hagral Rambam Hilchos Niskim Mammon. Ches Yud. Lashon Tur. Yitain Loi Metathlin. So the Lashon of the Tur is that he should give Metathlin.
Right. Remember, that's a main. We said Diktuk Lashon because it's. Let's look back at the Tur. Oh, I hate to do that. Okay. Remember the Beis Din, he said when he didn't say Beis Din, he said when we come to collect, we collect from the, we don't give karka, but ye ten, he switches the tense that he gives metalton. Should I do it? Should I try to do that? Let me try to do that. Split the screen here. Okay, it's worthwhile keep text because it's such an important thing, even though it'll take us a little more time to refresh, but let's see if we can get down there to the Gra pretty simply. Yeah, let's get to the Lashon there. Yeah, you see, okay, tell me when it's refreshed. Do you see? Yeah, okay, it takes a little time there. It probably gives priority. It gives priority to the voice, and then I put the tour on the bottom.
Yeah, it's coming. It's getting there.
Okay.
It is. I see slowly the outline.
It's coming.
The window is taking. Okay, now I see the window on the bottom where it says the Gra or Rambam. I guess that you scroll down at one point. There we go.
Yeah. No, I split the screen, and then I.
Now I see Torah. Torah Hashem Mishpatzim Tafites. Kshaban Hagvais. Lenizik Nizkai. Rayin Im Yesh Lamazik Metaltalin. We have to see if the mazik has metaltalin or not. And you know the Nechazim Lumkar Karka Isavel Yitim Metaltalin.
Now, you see, that's an important, look what he did. He did a plural. Ein Yordan, we do not go down to sell the karka. Ella, he gives him metaltalin. There's a little bit of a mixed message here. There's the mixed message. Are we dealing in a din based in? Are we telling what the mazik what to give, or does the mazik have free choice? So first it tells us we don't go down. The based in doesn't go down to sell the karka. Ella Yiten, he gives metaltalin. Okay, so it looks as if the Gra is going to be medayik on this lashon, Ella Yiten metaltalin, that the brera is in the hands of the mazik, right? He can give. We don't. In other words, this is all the people are saying. Look, we don't think that the law is like Reb Huna, that we take away his karka. No, we don't go down to his karka like it says Meitiv Sedehu. But what do? Ella, he may give metaltalin if he wants.
Right.
Okay, that's how he's medayik on the tour. You see, that's why I put that in red. Okay, so let's go back to here, to the tour you were reading.
So yitain loy metaltalin. Let's learn about birtz. So birtzaynei shall mazik tali. It's up to the will of the mazik to give metaltalin.
Right.
The amar. Shehanizik shalakeach metaltalin, that the nizik takes metaltalin.
Right. That brackets was from another text that I had, but we can leave it out. It was from a book called Stay Eliyahu, but whatever. We got the idea, right?
Okay. May Rav Huna the Amar calls man sheyesh loy meitav, and yachalitim loy metaltalin. This excludes from Rav Huna who says that if he has meitav, he cannot give metaltalin. So the Tur is not going with Rav Huna because the Tur is saying that it's up to the mazik to give what he wants. Rav Huna says that it would be his obligation to give meitav if he has meitav.
Right.
He
and he can't, and he cannot. The point, he cannot give metaltalin. Right. So here it's just opposite. Very good. So the Gra is really, again, you see, he's very much, it's silly to say, but that's the reality. He's very much involved. He's trying to tell us how these people are reading, or how he's reading now, the Torah. He's reading the Torah, which I talk about the Torah in context. You could talk about the Torah, what he says, and you could talk about the Torah as if, come on, he's talking about in context. In other words, he's talking about in context of the machlokus of Rav Huna and Rav Papa, and he's saying, by saying that don't go down to the karka, we're saying don't think the halacha is like Rav Huna, where you have a right to demand karka or kesed, okay? But no, we don't hold like Rav Huna. We hold like Rav Papa, and therefore he is allowed to give metaltalin. That's the kiddush of the Torah, the way this is being read, right?
Right.
Okay, so then that's it. Right. Which is, right, the beginning of our whole piece there, right, exactly. They all learn the Torah this way. Okay?
Yep.
So continue. This is the second point. Right.
So is that the Rambam says?
Well, let's.
Who says that?
That's the Torah, no?
That's the Torah.
Let's look at the Torah.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yes. So now what does he want? He wants to show that the brera is beyond the mazik, right? Because he says even another diuk, even if he has kesef, he can pay with subin.
Right.
Okay? Which is another knock against Rav Huna. Rav Huna says, no, if you have kesef, you have to pay with kesef, right?
Right.
And if you have meitav, you have to pay with meitav. And when you don't have kesef, you don't have meitav, then you pay with subin. That's Rav Huna. So the Gra is bringing another raya that the brera is biyad the mazik, because it says even if he has kesef, you can pay with subin. Well, that's got to be Rav Papa, because it's definitely not Rav Huna. Rav Huna says if you have kesef, you have to pay with kesef and not subin.
Right.
So that's the second raya for the Gra. So that's what the Gra is medactic on two parts of this Torah. One, that the Torah said, Ela yiten lo metaltalin. He can give metaltalin. He doesn't have to give karka. That's one exclusion of Rav Huna. And the second exclusion of Rav Huna from the Torah is he says, V'afil yesh lo kesef, he can give subin, which is another anti Rav Huna position, correct? Because Rav Huna would say if you have kesef, you have to give kesef, you can't give, okay? And this, he says, is all, of course, against the Beis Yosef, okay? What did the Beis Yosef say? What did the Beis Yosef say? The Beis Yosef, let's see, remember what the Beis Yosef said? The Beis Yosef,
nope, not offhand.
Yeah, the Beis Yosef. Let's see what the Beis Yosef said. Here. Oh, it's the other piece. Oh, terrible. I'm going to have to open it. Okay, I won't open up. The Beis Yosef said that he wanted to read the Torah dafka, that you have to give metaltalin before you give meitav. Let me just go back here where we were. Let me just go back, and then we'll talk that out. Now, okay, it's going to take some. Now, remember the Beis Yosef talked on the Torah. This Torah, the very Torah that we had, and he read the Torah not in context as the Vilna Gaon is doing, and as the Bach and the Drisha did, this has nothing to do with saying the halacha is not like Rav Huna. He read that the Torah meant that if you have metaltalin, you must give it first, and if you don't have metaltalin, then you give meitav karka. And he didn't mention, by the way, he didn't mention the Rambam. He said, where did the Torah get this idea that you give metaltalin before karka? Where did he get this idea? So he got this idea from the halacha in Balchov by making a connection between Balchov and Nezikin. That was that's the whole critical point here. In Balchov, we have two places where it talks about Balchov. One was Mekachtos, and one was the case of Tolei Masa Benachri. But in those both cases in Balchov, there was a precedent of Kesef and Metaltalin over Karka. Okay? Now the Rush said, why is Balchov different than this Chov of Nezikin? What makes Balchov different than this Chov of Nezikin? So he says, oh, Balchov is a special din. Since the Malva gave money, he has a right to give money back. So that's why you'll see when it comes to the case of Malva and Malva, we always say that you have to give metaltalin before karka, because whatever's closer to kesef you have to give, and metaltalin's close to the kesef. So that was the Rush. But the Rush made a clear distinction between the cases where you gave money and expected money back, and the person doesn't have money, has to give what's closest to money, and the case of Nezikin where you didn't give any money. You may have lost money, but you never gave money. So the Torah says in that place, all metaltalin, meitav, and kesef are all equal. Okay, so that was the work of the Beis Yosef. That was the work of the Rush. The Rush said that Nezikin has nothing to do with Balchov. Came along the Beis Yosef and he said, but the Torah disagreed with his father. And this Torah that we're reading clearly states that you give metaltalin before karka. Why? Because there is a comparison between Nezikin and Balchov. So this whole piece now is going to revolve around the fact of, or the, let's say, the discussion of whether Nezikin is a simple Balchov, and there's no distinction between the two, and since we saw in Balchov there's a precedent of metaltalin over karka, that's going to go into Nezikin. Well, no. That will be the essence. So the Torah was read by the Beis Yosef, the way the Beis Yosef read the Torah was that you have to give kesef and metaltalin before karka. You read the Torah simply. The Torah said the Torah is not trying to eliminate Rav Huna. He's trying to say the din. So okay, so that's the whole let's say the excitement, or the whole discussion here now is going to revolve around whether Nezikin shares the same quality as Balchov or not. So the Rush split them off and said they're different completely. Of course, in Nezikin, you never gave any money. You may have lost money, but you never gave money, and therefore there's no expectation of money back. But in the Malva, since he gave money, he has an expectation for money back and anything that's closer to it. So the Beis Yosef says that the Torah, because of that comparison between Balchov, said that you have to give it before karka, and the Vilna Gaon, who's quoting the Bach and the Drisha and the Prisha, says nothing doing. The Torah clearly said there's no comparison between Balchov and Nezikin, and therefore Nezikin, the simple rule is like Reb Papa, you can give what you want. Okay, is that clear? More or less. Hello, did I lose you?
Yeah. No, I'm just had to pick up the other phone for 1 second.
Okay, but do you get the idea here? The idea here is that again, what does the Torah mean? We have two positions. Either the Torah is saying nothing new except the halachas like Reb Huna, it's really Reb Papa, and you can give all three, okay, equally. and he just said the halacha is not like Rav Huna. Or no, the Torah is saying you have to give metalton before karka, and that we learned from Baal Chov. That was the whole intrigue in how to read the Torah. Two ways of reading the Torah. So the Gra reads the Torah like the Bach and the Drisha and the Prisha, which is all we're doing here is saying the halacha is not like Rav Huna. The halacha is a papa, you can give what you want. And it's unlike the Beis Yosef who read the Torah, that really the Torah is saying that the halacha of Nezikin comes from Baal Chov, which means that just like in Baal Chov you have to give Kesef and Metatlan before a Karka, so too in Nezikin. Okay? Is that clear? Okay. So that's the Gra. The Gra simply is taking sides up to this point, and he's saying, look, Pashad in the Torah is like the Drisha and the Prisha, that we just trying to tell you in the Torah the halacha is not like Rav Huna. That's why he says v'yiten metaltalin. He can give metaltalin. He doesn't have to give metab. And also if he has kesef, he can even give metaltalin. This is all Rav Papa, and don't think the halacha is like Rav Huna. So that's the first part of the.
Well, he's saying the Gra is also saying that the Rambam is going with the Torah.
Now he did not. Oh yes. Now that's very, very good. Thank you. Thank you. He doesn't, he, at this point, what does he say? This is the Gra on the Rambam, right? And all he does here at this point is says, he quotes the Lashon HaTorah, he has not mentioned the Rambam yet, if you look carefully, correct? He's writing on the halach of the Rambam, but he has not mentioned the Rambam yet at all. He only said this, he only wanted to say that the Torah, according to him, and the Bach and the Drisha and the Prisha has nothing to do with
It's not the Beis Yosef.
Is exactly. And the Beis Yosef, by the way, we have to medactic also never mentioned the Rambam. When he made this comparison between Baal Chov and Nezikin, he never mentioned the Rambam. Okay? Now, the Gra is going to mention the Rambam.
Oh, sorry.
Okay? That's number 2.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to move it up. It's going to take this. And let me just, I hope that doesn't refresh long, but okay. Is that refreshing there? I just want to get more of the screen for you so you can.
I wonder if I did the presenting, if we go faster.
Nah, okay. I'm not going to jump anymore here. I don't think. But okay, we'll go right there. All right. I don't know. Like I said, I can go to the other room, but it's because my Wi-Fi is very low. It's like on one little point here. But I don't want to wake up the people.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now is the screen more or less refreshed over there? About Lashon Rambam, Eino Morikain.
Yes, I got it.
Okay, good. So now the Vilna Gaon is going to bring in the Rambam. He says, what I wrote said, good. Right. Right.
That is not dependent on the Ratzon HaMazik, which is not like the Torah.
Right.
The Torah said it's clearly up to the Ratzon HaMazik to give what he wants.
Right.
He's saying the Rambam doesn't hold that way. Veneer the sphere like a Dasar Ramah, that was brought in the Beis Yosef, in the New Yosef. The Kozman sheyesh like kesef ein yachol litin loy metalpulin v'loy karka. That kesef is a priority. If you have kesef, you have to have kesef first. V'adin kisheyesh metalpulin, then yachol litin karka.
Let's stop. Right. Exactly. So remember, this is our classic Ramah with the hay brought in the Ran. That there's a 3-tiered system. First thing that you have to pay back with as a mazik is kesef. If you don't have kesef, only if you don't have kesef do you give metaltalin, and only if you don't have kesef and metaltalin you give karka. So the Gra says, well, we're looking around. Where can we find such a sheet in the Rambam? Because the Rambam does says. By the way, the Rambam doesn't talk about kesef. He only talks about metaltalin and karka. Okay. So the Gra is going to reflect on that also. But the fact that there's a priority of metaltalin over karka is a big chiddush. Okay, so the Gra says, well, he must have gotten it from the Ramah. Okay, because the Ramah does put karka last. Okay, he's also going to point out in a second that he puts kesef in front, and that will be his problem. Okay, so let's skip down to this. We'll skip the Siman Shin Nun Hey, where he brings a case of Nezikin, and let's read the rest of the scroll. Okay, Ella. So now that's what he says. He says the Rambam, since he gives a precedent of metaltalin over karka, must be holding like the Ramah with a hay, because the Ramah also gives a precedent of metaltalin over karka. He also gives a precedent of kesef over metaltalin. That's exactly what the Gra is going to address right now. Okay.
Yeah. Ela shetzorach iyun. Lama lekosov Rambam b'sheyesh lekesef sheniyachal ita metaltalin.
Correct.
Why doesn't the Rambam say that kesef has a priority over metaltalin, and if he has kesef, he must give kesef and not give metaltalin?
Right. That was the sheet of the Ramah with the hay, right? So how come the Rambam didn't mention kesef? He only said that you collect the keshegovin lenizik. That's the tour. Keshebeistin govin me hanizak nesko. Let's get up to here's the Rambam. Here we go. Keshebeistin niskok and ligos and niska mignek semazik govin minu talton techil. Lo hay metalton klal or shalo hay metalton connected kolonezik. Then govin misham mikarka. No mention of kesef at all. Right? So how come the Rambam didn't mention kesef? Okay, one thing, why didn't he mention kesef? Okay, that's one question. But a more serious question is, if he's holding like the Ramah with a hay, then he had to have mentioned kesef, because according to the Ramah, if you have kesef, you give it before metaltalin. Correct?
Right.
Yeah? So it's very nice that we found sort of a halfway shita to explain the Rambam, to show why metaltalin is better than karka. But if you're already going to say it's the Ramah goes further. How the Rambam didn't. Okay, so now let's see the Gra's analysis here. Venera.
Venera. The Rambam is related to metaltalin harayim kikesef. It must be, says the Gra, that the Rambam holds that metaltalin and kesef are equal. Kamaisha kosef sham in Bava Kama v'hani kul kesef ninhu. So he's bringing a proof that there is this idea that metaltalin and kesef are the same.
Right. Now, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I tried to do it, but it didn't work. Now, what I tried to do is to go to that Gemara. Now, I'm going to tell you the Gemara outside, okay? If you remember what happened at Gemara, that Gemara was that said that that kesef, shum kesef v'shavik kesef. That was the Mishnah on Yud Dalet. Shum kesef v'shavik kesef.
Right.
Right. That means the shuma has to be done in kesef. You can't just say, "Well, you take the talis you take." Excuse me. I damaged your talis, and you and you damaged my cow, so let's just call it even, more or less. You know, whatever the damage I did to you is equal to the damage you did to me, so let's just call it even. So the Mishnah says no, shum kesef. Whenever there's damage, there has to be an evaluation, an assessment, and based in. Okay. And the second thing it said, okay, that's fine, shum kesef. The second thing it said was v'shava kesef. So the Gemara brought a brisa that said that shava kesef is karka. Shava kesef is karka. My mashma.
I have it up on my screen. If you want, I could show it.
Oh, very good. Good. So you can go over there. We can switch sides.
There we go.
Very good. Unfortunately, recording error has occurred. Okay, doesn't matter. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Oh, so it was all because we switched presenter, so now you're not recording anymore.
Nah, it doesn't matter. Okay, already. Now it says meet now. Presenter, I don't get it.
What?
It says meet now. I don't know what just went on. I don't know what just went on.
Meet now.
Waiting to view Avishon's screen. Oh, I got it. It's just waiting for your screen. It's going to take time because I'm far away from the... Oh, there it is. I got it.
Oh.
Now I see... Very good. So now I see... Yes, very good. Shum Kesef. Good. So let's go... So that's the Gemara says Shum Kesef is Shava Kesef, right? Shava Kesef, and there's the Brisa. What does it say? Malamed. Shein ben based in this... Ella linachas and sheyesh. Very nice. Lashon Rambam, isn't it?
Oh, so Aval and Kadam Nizik. So what's the proof from here?
Not yet. We didn't get yet. All so far as Baruch Hashem, we found a Gemara that uses this lashon of the Rambam that the beis din is not neskaken ela nechasim sheish lamachrayis. Right? Now, what's normally nechasim sheish lamachrayis? What does that normally mean?
It's usually karka.
It usually means karka. So here, let's go to yeah, exactly. So here it says that the beis din could only take karka. The beis din can only take karka. That's what it says. Okay, and then it says, but if the mazik, if the nizak is solid graz metalton, he can. So now let's read Omar Mar.
Shava kesef. So that's what it said in the Brisa. My mashma. What is a mashma from the fact that it says in Bezin is kakin? Now Shava kesef is only if it has a chayis. Amar Rabba Bar Ula.
In other words, we're saying only the simple reading of the Gemara is saying only karka and not anything else, right? The beis din can only collect from karka. Let's go to the third one. Because the Gemara is going to eliminate the first two. El Omer Rav Ashi, right.
Shava kesef, the loy kesef. Shava kesef, the loy kesef, a hanikulu kesef minu. That Shava kesef, but is not kesef, and all these other things are kesef.
When the Mishnah said, Shum kesef, a Shava kesef, right? It meant that you can only collect from Shava Kesef. What is Metaltalin? Metaltalin is not Shava Kesef. Metaltalin is Kesef Atzmo. Vahani, meaning Metaltalin, meaning Abadim and Shtaros, and all Metaltalin, those are all called Kesef. Okay. I know why I got you confused, because I skipped the first two answers. Okay? So let's go again. What does the Brisa say? You can only collect from karka, right? And you cannot collect, which means you can only collect from karka and not from metaltalin, right? And that's what it means. Shum kesef, shava kesef. Okay, shava kesef is karka. Now, why is shava kesef karka and metaltalin is not called shava kesef? Because metaltalin is kesef.
Right.
Okay. Now Rashi, remember, told us that why is metaltalin kesef? Let's read that Rashi down. You can slip down to Rashi there. It's just down the page a little.
Okay, it probably take a second for it to refresh.
No, it's actually working very well on your side.
Okay.
Let's read the Rashi. Ella Omer of Ashi Shavik.
Ella Omer Rashi, here it is.
Yeah.
V'achi mashma shava kesef yishalim, v'lo kesef atzmai, and it's much that you have to pay shava kesef and not kesef itself. V'hani kul metaltalin v'avadim v'shtaros kesef minhu.
So all metaltalin is called kesef. Why? Rashi's going to tell us a beautiful word.
Dematzi la'am tuyinu mimasa l'masa umizdavni. You could take it from one place to another place and sell it.
Very interesting.
That's like Rav Huna.
Not Rav Papa, exactly. Right? Beautiful. So according to Rav Papa, the reason why metaltalin, according to this, it's correct. You can only give karka, which is called shavik kesef, and metaltalin is not called shavik kesef. Why? Because metaltalin is kesef. Why? Because you can get your money very quickly, if not here, somewhere else. Okay?
Right.
So we have now a raya from this Gemara that metaltalin is called kesef. Okay? And karka is not called kesef, it's called shavik kesef. So if I ask you, why did the Rambam not write the din in kesef? He only wrote the din in metaltalin. Says the Gemara, because the Rambam read this Gemara, and the Gemara equates metaltalin to kesef. So anytime he's only going to write the bigger chiddush, right, that you can give metaltalin, and certainly you should know this Gemara that kesef is equal to metaltalin. Okay?
Right.
Right? So now let's just read the end of this Gemara because I want this Gemara fresh in your mind because the Gemara is go back a little. The Gemara says Rami lay. Okay, so now we have the Brisa telling us Shavik Kesef is metaltlin, right? And the Beis Din can only collect from Karka, right? That's the conclusion. And it can't collect from Kesef or Shavik Kesef. So now let's read Rami.
Rami le Rav Yehuda bar China le Rav Huna bar Rav Yeshua. Tana Shavik Kesef. Malamech and Bezin is Karka and Alachasim Shesh Makrayis. But Tanya, this is like a Rumi, it says Rumi, so Rami. But Tanya Yashav Rabba Shavik Kesef Afilu Subin. One Bryce is saying that Shavik Kesef tells you that you can only collect from the Chazim Sheish Lamachrayis. And we have another Bryce which is the opposite, saying that you can even collect from Subin. Right.
Now this is the first brisa that we just mentioned in the beginning of this piece of Shavik Kesef. We brought this brisa, and it said you can only collect from Karka. We only had to understand how come only Karka and not Kesef or Shavik Kesef. So we said because Shavik Kesef and Kesef are equal, and they're called real Kesef, and the only thing that is something that has the value of money is called land. Very nice. So now Ramile, who asks here? Reb Yehuda, Reb Chanina asks. Oh, who does he ask?
Reb Huna Breder Yeshua.
Reb Papa, our favorite duo, right? Reb Papa and Reb Huna Breder Reb Shua, right? So he asked him. He said, "Wait a minute. Well, how could this Brisa hold that the mazik must pay with Karka? We have the other Brisa that says you can pay even with Subin."
Right.
Yeah. So what's the teretz?
The teretz is Hachamayaskinan biyasmi.
Stop. What does that mean?
That means that to collect for, what are we talking about over here again? We're talking about the simon of the nizik.
Of the mazik.
Of the mazik.
The nizik wants to collect from the yisomim of the mazik.
Okay, so they can only collect from nechatzim sheish l'machrayim and not from the top.
Right. So we made Nakimta, we sidelined this whole brisa to say we're talking about a special case of Yisomim.
Right.
The Yisomim, when it comes to the Yisomim who inherited the debt of their father, who was the Mazik, so there we only collect from Karka. Okay? You want to read Rashi? Yes, please. You can read the Yisomim.
If the father of the Yisomim left over Karka, that's where the nizik collect from. Ava metalkali, mi metalkali loi, metalkali dias, mila mishabdi labal chayvdik, lameimar alacham. He says, avien kanum. They could claim that they acquired it after their father passed on.
So it's a special din samim that you can't collect from a metaltlin. They can always claim we got this after the father died. It's our own metaltlin. You can never prove it. So that's the din. Okay, but what did the Gruel want to bring from here? This is going to be a very critical Gemara, but the first part of the Gemara states that Kesef is equal to Shavik Kesef. So let's go back to our Gruel. You want to do on your screen? I don't know if I...
let me flip back to your screen because you have it there.
Okay, so let's flip it around to mine. Okay, show my screen. It wasn't too painful, I don't think. It'll probably take a little time to refresh.
Okay.
Okay. So we said Venera. Do you have that? Venera shah Ramam soverlay the metalton hari kesef. How come the Ramam? Now remember, the Ramam is supposed to. He said that there's a preference of metalton over karka. Where did he get it from? Says the Gror. Must have gotten it from the Ramah with the hay, right? So that's very good. If he's with the Ramah, so then hey, he should have talked about kesef has a precedent over metalton, like the Ramah said. The Ramah said first kesef, then metalton, and then karka. Now, if you're going to tell me no kesef, what's going on here? You can't tell me if the Gra say that Kesef is equal to Metaltalin. Okay, that you can say. But if you're going to say that he's holding like the Ramah and Kesef has a precedent even over Metaltalin, then the Rambam would have been forced to say Kesef. You with me?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what he says. So let's read. Let's read. V'nir da Rambam.
Here, Sharam Spirulay, the Metaltalin Hareim Kesef, Kamasha Kasef Sham, V'hani Kulu Kesef Ninu.
Right. They said, how come the Bryce has said that the Basin can only collect from Karka and not from Shavik Kesef? Oh, because Shavik Kesef is Kesef. Why, said Rashi? Because if you don't sell it here, you can sell it there. So that's the Rambam's holding the that's what the Rambam is holding. Unlike the Ramah, who gives a precedent of a Kesef over Metaltalin, the Rambam holds that Kesef and Metaltalin are equal. How does he know it? From the Gemara and Yudah we just read.
Right.
Now the Gra keeps going. Umafarish.
Umafarish Nemar Sham. Umafarish Mashem Sham. Rav Huna Amar Ay Kesef Ay Meitav Ratzalema. Im Yesh LaKesef Yitain Kesef. Ve'im Ein Lo Yitain Meitav Kepirish Ramah. So he's explaining that if he has Kesef, he has to give Kesef, and if not, he gives Meitav.
So now remember Rav Huna.
He's told that if Kesef or Meitav, it's all right. It's all one and the same.
Nope.
Kesef and Metaltalin is all one and the same.
Yes, but let's read Rav Huna again. What did Rav Huna say?
Rav Huna said, Oy Kesef, Oy Meitav.
Correct?
Right.
O Kesef, O Meitav.
Right.
We're saying that Kesef has a priority over Meitav. So
Right.
how did we learn this? Kesef O Meitav? We learned it as an unequal or. Remember that chiddush? You see,
Right.
this is,
Right.
I mean, if you're not, if a person doesn't know what's going on here and just reading the Gra simply, I don't know what he's getting out of it. I mean, he's getting something, but only if you're deeply involved in this piece can you appreciate what the Gra is just doing. The
Right.
Gra now is going to turn his focus to Rav Huna, correct?
Right.
And he's going to say, well, wait a minute, where did we get this idea that Kesef, and he's going to say Metaltalin also, has precedent over Karka? That's not Rav Papa.
Right.
So now he says, you know what, something is Rav Huna. How is it Rav Huna? Rav Huna said, oh, Kesef or Meitav. You can give Kesef or Meitav equally, right?
Right.
Rotzalomar, no, that's not what it means. Im yesh lo Kesef yitain Kesef. That's what it means, oh, Kesef or Meitav. If you have Kesef, you must give Kesef. Ve'im ein lo, if you don't have Kesef, then give Meitav. Kepirish HaRamah. So this really was the chiddush of the Shach, that there's something called an unequal or. We called it a hierarchical, not a hierarchical or, right? When Rav Huna said, O Kesef, O Meitav, he meant you either give Kesef lechatchila, and only if you don't have Kesef, can you give Meitav. Okay? That was a big chiddush. So where do we see that there's a precedent of Kesef over Meitav? It's not from Rav Papa, because Rav Papa said all three of them are equal. It's Rav Huna. Rav Huna says Kesef has a precedent over Meitav. Okay, first you give Kesef and then you give Meitav. That's what the Ramah held also. Kesef has it. But look at let's do the next little piece here. A. Now remember Rav Nachman chimed in. Rav Nachman chimed in and he said, go ahead, read A. Oh, A. You see, the Gra, the Chulu. Yeah, I mean, if you're not involved, then who's he talking to? Okay, right. But the Gemara said, Eisvei Rav Nachman to Rav Huna. Wait a minute. Yoshev, the Rabbi Shavik Kesef Kesef. What do you mean, oh, Kesef? Or you can eat Kesef first, and if you don't have it, Omeitav. What about Metaltalin? It says Yifil Subin. Now we'll see. Right. So what was the answer? Hachimai Skinin B'Deleslei. Oh, boy.
Right.
Remember we said that this is the sugya of the indefinite pronoun.
Right.
Sodehu, leislei. Okay,
Right.
so now what is this leislei? Rod Lamar, here's the chiddush of the Gra.
Yeah, so he says, Haramai skinan bidil leslei, Ratzalema she'ein loi metaltalin, Azam Ravuna she'etin meitav. And that's the question. It's bidil leslei. If he doesn't have metaltalin, then Ravuna says that he was meitav. So I guess that's pshita.
But let's go slowly on that. Okay, before we get to the Peshita, again, this is just like very subtle stuff. Let's go step one. Rav Huna makes a statement, O Kesev O Meitav, correct? Very good. Which means you give Kesev, and if you don't have Kesev, then you give Meitav. Very good. Now, Rav Nachman comes along and says, well, what do you do with Yashiv? There's another alternative. You can give Subin, not only Kesev or Meitav. So Rav Huna answers him, Bidel Lesley. That's only when you don't have it. What does the Gra say the it is?
That he doesn't have any, what is it, meitav. No, I'm not following. Actually, he doesn't have any metaltalin.
Okay. Now, what you have to explain to me, what's the shaklavataria now? Let's slow down. Let's go very slowly. Oh, kesev or meitav, that means you give kesev first, and then if you don't have kesev, you give metaltalin. Reb Nachman says to him, wait a minute, what do you do with subin? Right? He says, bidolesle. What does the Gra say? Bidolesle metaltalin. What does that mean? The teretz is, this is a teretz of Rav Huna.
Right, the Rav Huna is answering that we're talking about where he doesn't have metaltalin.
Then what?
Then you give kesef or meitav.
Nope.
No?
Because the first statement was kesef first, and then you give meitav.
Right.
Right? So already, now what was the kasha? The kasha was, wait a minute, if you don't have kesef, you can also give subin.
Right.
If you don't have kesef, you can also give subin. So why did you tell me you can also give meitav? The answer is, you can give, what I meant was, when you don't have metaltalin, then you can give meitav.
Right.
Again, kesef first. If you don't have kesef, then you give meitav. Right. Wait a minute. What do you mean? If you don't have kesef, the only thing he gives meitav. It says you can also give subin. You can give metaltalin. When I said that if you don't have kesef, you can give meitav, it was talking about when you don't have metaltalin.
You know what? I'm not focusing because I have to run.
Okay, all right. So let's focus on what I want to do. Next time we meet, I want to go over it again, okay? Because I really want, this Gra is so important. We really have to really get it very, very well, okay? So let's stop here. It's a good time. And and thank you for the great Shabbos. Really, it was very important. You know how important it was to have Noach, Tevis Noach in the middle of. I'm really down now in heavy gullus here. Real heavy gullus.
In Sacramento, California.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Really heavy. Very heavy gullus.
Is there a minion? Do you have a minion in the neighborhood?
What is that?
Wow.
It's very heavy. I mean, it is what it is. This is gullus. It's beautifully Gashmias oriented, and the people are contented cows. They're in the field. They're eating their grass, but don't ask about anything beyond the good meal we're going to have tonight. Okay, Baruch Hashem. I guess I'm here for a reason. I am. I'm saying my poor brother's sick. I have to go visit him. Vayigash, you have to have a family relationship, and maybe I can elevate some sparks. But anyway.
Absolutely. The spark of Torah definitely helps. The fact that you're learning brings
And this was, you don't know how many Shemaim this was. Mamish, you know, I was just talking to my wife. She said, well, maybe we have some email. And I'm so famished with the times, I don't know what it is. And then I saw your email. I said, wow, that's beautiful. Hashem is, you know, he's even down here in all the schmutz, you know, Baruch Hashem. So, Baruch Hashem, thank you for the elevation, and we'll see you next week. And we'll go over this piece again. We have to get it real well. Okay? Okay. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Goodbye.